everyone, this is James and Vilon and welcome to my channel. So if you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, and also do not forget to click the notification bell so that you will be notified and you will be updated sa mga bagong videos na i-upload ko sa channel dito. Okay, so as you could remember, I already made a video pertaining to the overview background of the 62 senatorial candidates who will be running for this midterm senatorial election this coming May 13, 2019. And with me now is my BFF and a former student who is happened to be now an academician and currently taking his master's in political science at San Carlos University and an incumbent president of the National Youth Commission Parliament. So it's a very big privilege to all of us. With me, na-collab ko siya for a particular scenario here in my channel. So let's start na BFF with pertaining to our 25 candidates. So earlier we picked randomly 25 senatorial candidates na i-discuss namin yung background nila and i-reveal namin kung ano yung mga policy focuses nila, and at the same time what are the things that they are supporting in the Congress and what are the things that they are not supporting, and we will give also verdict whether or not mag-vote ako or mag-vote ba siya sa isang political candidate. So it doesn't mean na pareho kami ng Ibuboto. So we will analyze and we will evaluate a particular candidate based on our principles and our perception. So it could be na pwede kong i-vote ang isang candidate and he will not vote for it. But the purpose here is to help you and to guide you and to give you awareness as to whom and what are the standards that we need to follow para sa isang senator na magpapatakbo sa ating legislative department. But before that, BFF, can we please just explain to them briefly kung ano yung function ng legislative department in the government, since we have three branches of the government, right? These are the
executive, legislative, and the judiciary.
Very good. So, ang executive, ang function niya is to implement laws, correct?
Yes, BFF.
While the judiciary is
to interpret
and apply the laws. And the legislative is to make, formulate, gumawa, enact ng law. So, BFF, there are two houses in the Congress, right? Because we are bicameralism, which are this.
These are the upper house, which is the Senate, and we have the lower house, or the House of the Representatives.
And in the House of Representatives, there are two membership there also. We have the district representative and the party list representative. Now, there are in the upper house, there are how many members? There are 24. The 24 senators. And in the lower house, the Constitution states that 80% of the composition must be the district representatives, and the remaining 20%
should be party list representatives.
Yes, that's the rule of our Constitution. Now, again, it's very important that we know kung ano yung function ng isang government official. So, alam din natin kung sino ang i-vote natin. Because in a democratic system, majority wins. So, if majority sa atin uneducated, unaware, and hindi alam kung ano yung dapat tama, the tendency is madadama yung mga na mayroong pakialam sa ating bansa. Now, let's start. Who is our first senator to be criticized or to be...
The first senator is a current senator. He is Mr. Bam Aquino, BFF.
So, BFF, I will start introducing and revealing the policy focus of Senator Bam Aquino. So, Senator Bam Aquino is a current senator of the country, and he is from the Liberal Party and one of the 8 members of Ocho Derecho. So, he is one of the strongest tickets of the opposition party, correct? So, the following are the policy focuses of Senator Bam Aquino. The education reform, the alleviating poverty, and of course the support to small enterprises. Now, in terms also of ensuring the empowerment, democratization, and good governance, Senator Bam Aquino supports on the Senate consultation on treaty withdrawal. And however, he is against federalism. He's against the ouster of Sereno, the former Chief Justice Sereno, and he is also against the political dynasty, which is very ironic because he is a very part of a political dynasty. And of course, he is against Marcos' burial in the libingan ng mga bayani. On the other hand, on reducing poverty and inequality, he is against medical use of marijuana. And on building peace, he is against the following policy on death penalty, martial law extension here in Mindanao, and the lowering of the age of criminal liability among youth. And on promotion of sustainable development and environmental protection, he is for employment, transportation, and infrastructure, which is in line also with the Build program of the President. And he is against contractualization among laborers and workers, and against din siya sa train law. And the other things that he is supporting are anti-discrimination bill, the women empowerment, and against siya sa divorce. And that is Senator Bam Aquino. Now, BFF, what is your opinion about him? Is he capable of the office? Deserve ba niya sa top 12?
For me, my personal choice, BFF, my personal choice for the top 12 senators is Bam Aquino, one of those. Because, as you can see, the political trend here in the Philippines kasi BFF, when we have different set of officers, or when we have different sets of rulers or policymakers, we tend not to collab, or we tend not to join with their policies or with their programs. We tend to banish it, we tend to eradicate it and form another new. However, this Bam Aquino is starting to put now policies on what his tito is trying to impose. Tito or cousin?
I guess it's his cousin. Let us check. So put it down, comment it down kung ano relationship na nila.
With the former President Pinoy, which is focused with the economics, with the employment, with the boost of our employment here in the Philippines. So I guess Bam Aquino is needed to become one of those senators and to become again our senators for this midterm election. I will vote for that.
Okay, so your verdict is you will vote. In my opinion also, I agree many of the things that you have said. I agree with them. Kasi for me, kailangan din natin ng opposition sa Senate to make it balanced, to create the balance, and to maintain the homeostasis within the legislative branch, or particularly in the Senate. So for me also, I will vote for Bam Aquino.
Okay, BFF. Our next senatorial is Pia Cayetano. She is the Deputy Speaker of the House. Her policy focus are empowering women, children, and PWDs, and of course, alleviating poverty. She is in favor with federalism. She is also on the quality of healthcare, and of course, she is pro death penalty, pro martial law extension here in Mindanao, and she is not in favor in lowering the criminal liability, and of course, she is not in favor of Bangsamoro Organic Law, or BOL. And then, on environmental and economic development, she is in favor with Sin Tax Reform Act. That's the increase of tax to the cigarettes, liquors, and other
harmful substances.
And of course, he is in favor with environmental awareness. Of course, we all know that from the very start, he is an environmentalist by nature. And then next is his other policy focus are, she is in favor with divorce, and of course, she is into empowerment of women, PWD, and senior citizens. So, what's your verdict now, BFF? Can we hear your comments?
Considering also the experience of Pia Cayetano, because she is currently the district representative of the 2nd District of Taguig and Pateros, I believe that her experience in the Senate and in the lower house could be a great help also to represent the women, the children, and the PWD. So that is why I would like to express my support and vote for Pia Cayetano. How about you, BFF?
For me, BFF also, I commend you for that comment of Pia Cayetano. However, I'm putting her on the 12 to 11 slots.
Okay. At least she is part of the Magic 12.
She's also part of it because considering the experiences,
Yeah,
diba? Considering the experiences in the legislative process in the government, and of course the achievements that she gave to the Filipino nation. So, I'm still looking more of it. Let's see. We still have 1 month to think about it.
Correct. So our third senatorial balls now is Bong Revilla. The most controversial senatorial ball in the country is Bong Revilla. So recently, he was just acquitted with the plunder by the ombudsman, in his case plunder. And now he is running for the comeback of the Senate. So, under the Lakas CMD party, he is representing. And the following are the policy focuses of Mr. Bong Revilla: community empowerment and infrastructure development. However, he has no clear policy or clear stand over ensuring empowerment, democratization, and good governance. Also, he has no clear policy on reducing poverty and inequality. He may claim that he is supporting against it, but compared to other senatorial candidates, they really have a particular policy and law or bills that they are supporting. And on the building peace in the country, the only policy that we have here, based on our record, is the death penalty. So other than that, he has no other policies expressly giving to us. So BFF, knowing the background of Bong Revilla, he is a former actor. He is
Senator.
Yes, and he is accordingly babaero, because the rumors says it all that he has a lot of children from various women. But regardless of that, based on his competence and capacity to become senator, are you in favor or are you supporting him or not?
For me, no. I'm not supporting. I'm very blunt of this. I'm not supporting Bong Revilla for the reason that I haven't seen him. I haven't seen his records. Maybe his records as a senator before. I haven't read any of those because, of course, we have researched. We researched their achievements before as senators, but I haven't seen achievements.
Okay, me too. Without any further explanation, I will not vote for him, and I don't think that he deserves a seat in the Senate. Now let's proceed to our next senator. Parang maldita tayong approach natin din. Parang Romina and Daniela. I am Romina and you are?
Sige, Daniela.
For this ano na lang, no? Okay.
The color speaks.
So let's put the character on the person. Okay, Daniela, anong masasabi mo sa next natin na senatorial ball?
Next, Romina, is si Coco Pimentel. Si Coco Pimentel is the PDP Laban or Hukbong ng Pagbabago. He's the president of the PDP Laban and the former Senate President of the Philippines. And his policy focus are on the strengthening of science and culture, creation of the Department of OFW or Overseas Filipino Workers, right? He is also in favor with federalism in the Philippines. He is also in favor of the Senate consultation on treaty withdrawals, and is against with Marcos Burial, and he is against with political dynasty. Of course, we all know It's very ironic.
Yeah.
He is also part of a political dynasty clan. He is also not in favor with the oust of the former Chief Justice Sereno. And he is not in favor with tapos na political dynasties. And now on reducing poverty and equality is in favor with healthcare. And I guess this healthcare is providing free services.
Yeah.
Free services of the Filipino.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody.
Particularly those poor and
indigent.
underprivileged.
Okay, is also favor on martial law extension here in Mindanao, and of course the peace talks here in Mindanao, because I believe that we stopped the peace talks already,
Yeah, for the meantime.
And then he's a supporter of the Build program of our government, and a supporter of the train law, and he's a supporter of the third telecom to be put here in the Philippines, which is from China. And he is a supporter of the anti-discrimination bill, which is really part of my advocacy. Our advocacy. The creation of the Department of OFW, and he has abstained with divorce.
Yeah, because I have learned that he has a failure marriage before he married now his wife. No.
Okay.
So for me, I guess you're asking my opinion about him.
Yes.
I like the idea that he is proposing to create a department of OFW because overseas Filipino workers.
Being you as an OFW.
Yeah, as a former OFW, I have really experienced and witnessed in firsthand the struggles and the sacrifices of many OFWs in the other countries. And aside from that, these OFWs played a very important role in the economic development in the country through their remittances. So I guess we need also to prioritize them and really give them the department which will focus on the welfare of our OFW, including their families here in the country. So for me, I will vote for Coco Pimentel, and he is part of my magic love.
Wow. Me also, Coco Pimentel is part of my magic 12. I'm very biased. I'm very territorial, considering that
he is from Mindanao.
And of course, Coco Pimentel, what I like him is his patience and perseverance.
And he topped also the bar.
Really?
When he took the bar,
wow.
He topped. He is a graduate from UP Diliman.
Yeah. The patience and perseverance, like considering the fact that during his loss on the senatorial seat, he still strived.
Actually, it was not a loss, but he was defrauded.
Defrauded. Okay, let's correct the term. Defrauded. That perseverance and patience to really prove to the people
that he really won.
Yes.
And he was able to prove to everybody that he won.
That's a great manifestation of a
great leader.
To a great leader, and becoming the Senate President of a very chaotic shift of the government is really
tough job
for Coco. So Coco for Senator.
Yeah. So our next senatorial ball is JV Ejercito from the National People's Coalition.
Yes, and BFF.
Yeah,
he is a senator and former mayor of San Juan City.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was part of the executive branch of the government pala. After he became part of the legislative. His policy focus is on transport, modernization, and infrastructure development, which is a very trending topic in terms of traffic.
Yes. Particularly EDSA, no?
Yes. Alleviating poverty, livelihood, and universal health care, which is, I guess, he is the author of the universal health care. He is in favor with federalism. And he is not in favor, of course, of political dynasty.
But very ironic again.
Yeah.
Para sa akin, plastika, very hypocrite.
Hypocrite
Kasi
talaga.
we know that Estrada and the rest Ejercito are really big names in the politics.
He is also in favor with the medical use of medical use of marijuana, and is in favor with Bangsamoro Organic Law, the martial law extension here in Mindanao, the lowering of criminal liability, and of course with the death penalty. And now with the infrastructure development, the train law and employment, he is also in favor. And he is also in favor with anti-discrimination bill and divorce. So marami siyang in favor. Parang wala siyang...
In my opinion also,
Yes, BFF.
para sa akin, it's very off na palagi ka na play safe kasi parang dating sa akin na lagi ka na lang nag-agree on a particular matter, knowing also that there are things na di naman kailangan na palaging support ka or makikisa ka all the time with them because again, the very purpose of democracy is to really balance everything. So, in democratic country, nandito talaga yung tinatawag natin majority at saka minority. I am very biased also in terms of considering of mga artista and mga personalities for a very sensitive position in the government.
True.
Because former former Senator J.V. Ejercito, although nakapaglingkod na siya, but I cannot feel the service in the present. So I guess for me the verdict is I will not vote for him. How about you?
Okay, also me. I will not vote.
You will not vote for him also. So let's
I never
proceed.
felt also
Yeah, that's
the work he did.
Yeah, but even if sinabi mo nung yung universal healthcare, but I guess marami naman silang nag-push niyan.
Yes. Maybe he is the author because that is part of his committees or so on.
Pero hindi naman siya sole author
Yeah,
of that.
so-
I know for a fact. Okay, the very controversial daughter of the very controversial previous President Marcos, Amy Marcos, who happened to be a member of a nationalista party and a former governor of the Ilocos Norte, and currently the representative of the Ilocos Norte in the House of Representatives. So we only have 3 policies under her banner in her journey towards the senatorial position. These are the federalism, the alleviating poverty, and the death penalty. Other than that, we don't have any record anymore. In your opinion, BFF, knowing that Amy Marcos in Ilocos Norte, even if marami din ang ayaw sa kanila because of the controversies, pero she is a very powerful woman from the north.
Yes, he's really a powerful woman from the north, considering the fact that he has also this
Parang nakalimutan babae
she has this solid supporters. Ngayong tinatawag na solid north.
Yes, I agree with that. And knowing also that hindi naman lahat ng mga tao sa Philippines ay against din ka Marcos, di ba? But knowing na maliit lang yung niya, without biases also, maliit lang yung mga policies and mga focuses niya. I don't want to be biased here in this time, pero I think she has to prove pa sa lower house. Mag-focus muna siya sa maliit na bagay. And knowing also that my brother siya in the
Senate.
Hindi na Senate before, no? My brother siya na currently fighting for the position of the Vice President. It's very difficult on my part, but I like to ask you first. Are you going to vote her or not?
Maybe no. No, because I go for first try your journey first in the House of Representatives.
Okay. And I have learned also, diba, na against ka rin sa Marcos na
Nakuan.
Yes.
Let's be real.
And that's very ironic because I really believe that not everything written against Marcos are true. So that is why magkaiba kami ng stand on that matter, because I'm really not really, but I believe na kailangan nating tingnan yung mga nagawa din ng mga Marcoses more than mga negatives, because there is no perfect administration, there is no perfect president. Even nga yung mga president ngayon at saka previous presidents after Marcos, marami ding mga mistakes. Yeah, marami ding mga mistakes, graft and corruption and the like.
Carrillo's administration, Rojas, and so on and so forth.
Correct. My point lang there is na-sensationalize lang yung story and about Marcos. And I guess hindi naman, it would not make you less than a human person if you always believe on the silver lining, according to Katrina Gray, na you should not always focus on the negative, but of course try to see the beauty in every situation. Okay. Above all, I will not also vote for Amy Marcos, although I see her potential as a senator, but in this election, I guess she's not yet ready for that.
Just prove his worth.
But if she will win, okay lang din sa akin.
Yeah, if she will win, it's okay.
In my case, wala akong problema, but I will not vote for her. Of course, pakilala mo na, the oldest senatorial
and the oldest people living in the Philippines, Shares.
Correct.
Hindi. Now, he is the former Senate President. He is Juan Ponce Enrile. So, Senator Enrile is the former secretaries of the Department of Finance, Department of Justice, Department of National Defense.
Ang dami na niyang na mga
From
offices.
executive, legislative,
and even judiciary because he is a lawyer.
Yes. And his policy are revisioning the train laws, the suspending tax and death penalty. He is on political dynasties. He is on political dynasties. He is on legalization and medical marijuana and housing. And he is also on the lowering of criminal liability. And of course, he is also on joint exploration in the West Philippine Sea, which is very trendy now. Joint exploration together with China. And the death penalty, he is against with death penalty. And he is also against with the extension of martial law. So, murag siya may nakaranas ng martial law.
Of course, dapat gid niya i-against ang martial law because during the martial law period, isa siya sa mga nag-traidor. Diba?
Yes.
That's the correct term.
Traidor din siya, traitor.
And to continue with the policies.
He is also in favor with transport development, which is necessary talaga in the Philippines. Transport development, our MRT and LRT, our jeeps, our buses.
Correct.
We should develop it. Now, he is with abstain with train law. He is in favor with same-sex union. And of course, in divorce.
Okay.
Wow, buti pa siya same-sex union. Ganito nakatanda.
But then again, knowing from a very traditional viewpoint, very traditional siya, I guess parang politika lang din yung support niya sa same-sex union, knowing that he's a very macho man. Given na napaka-old na niya, I don't think that kaya pa niya. Although pag sabihin niya kaya pa niya, but for us, maawa naman tayo. Let us give him a retirement and he must rest na din, no? Not in peace, but rest for a while. Kasi I guess 90 plus na siya and pwede lang din siya maging consultant kung ganun-ganun naman lang. But not a senator anymore kasi parang let's give the young generations the chance also to become senators.
True.
So for me, I will not vote for him.
Me also, I will not vote for him.
Yes, I'm very sorry, Mang Enrile, no? Because we will not really vote for you. Not because you are incompetent, but because we are very concerned with
loving
your
senior citizens.
Yeah, we are very concerned for your rest na din.
Let the new generation take over the country.
Yes.
You may rest, sir.
We will naman sa visa.
You may rest lang.
Our next senatorial is no other than a PDP laban and hugpong pagbabagong member, a former political advisor of the Office of the Political Advisor, and a former MMDA chairman, and a former mayor of Tagaytay City, and now an environmental lawyer, none other than Francis Tolentino. So, the policy focus of Attorney Tolentino are the following: the disaster risk reduction management, the green justice, the creation of the Philippine Reconstruction Development, rural development, alleviating poverty, free education, free hospitalization, housing projects, and public safety. We also include that he supports in the federalism and the political dynasties, including the healthcare, agriculture, in education, but he is against legalization of medical marijuana. He is for the martial law extension here in Mindanao, and the lowering of the criminal liability among youth, for public safety, death penalty, but he is against the BUL or the Bangsang Moro Organic Law. He is for the Land Use Act, Agriculture, Disaster Rehabilitation, Urban Development Commission, and against din siya sa contractualization. And he is a supporter of the anti-discrimination and the same-sex union. What is your opinion for him?
He has a lot of things to do pala. He's a lot of visionary.
Very
He's
visionary.
a visionary man. So, for me, I'll give a chance to this man.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
I will
a chance
vote
to this
for
man.
him. He is part of my top 12. He deserves the seat because I guess ilang attempt na ba niya in running the
Second?
second,
Last
no?
year,
Second.
yeah.
So, second attempt na niya, I guess it's about time na marami naman din dapat i-replace din sa ano, di ba?
We have a lot
To replace. Then, I believe that Attorney Tolentino deserves also a seat in Senator for this midterm election.
Yes.
Okay, pakilala mo na ang iyong idolo.
Next, we have our next. He is one.
She is.
She is.
Huwag mo na gawin lalaki yung mga babae at
But he has a manly heart and action.
he again.
She talaga. Okay, BFF. She is one of the independent candidates from the very start. Diba? She is an independent candidate without any party list. And she stands on his own.
Her own.
Her own pala.
Ano ba to? Ang hirap naman i-edit din nito dahil kasi he's at her lang yung mga
Sige, mga mali. Sige, okay. Sige, BFF. She is Grace Paul.
former candidate sa presidential election.
Yes. One of strongest presidential ball we had, which is topping almost of the Pulse Asia SWS survey.
But only to find out she landed only to the third spot.
It's between Estrada and Duterte.
No, Mar Rojas. Duterte, Mar Rojas, and then siya. Diba?
Estrada. Yeah, because during the time of Estrada and Pinoy.
Yeah,
That's
so
Estrada Pinoy. Okay. She is a supporter of the freedom of information, which is still on the process. She is also a supporter of the train law and the health. She's a supporter of the universal health or the health. And she is a supporter of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. And of course, a supporter of the martial law extension here in Mindanao. And of course, is against with illegal drugs and against with divorce. And she is a pro social security law and pro on anti-discrimination bills.
But against on
divorce. Your comment about Ate Grace.
Ate Grace, the name that really rings a bell for us.
True.
Grace po is very diligent in her work, and that is why it's unquestionable. She always tops in the surveys, in the recent surveys of the SWS and then the Pulse Asia. So, magaling din siya magtrabaho, very competent, and then less yung mga kalaban niya sa politics. No? She really works in silent manner.
She plays well in the politics considering
Yes.
she is a political science graduate in UP.
No, in US.
US?
Yes.
Okay.
She graduated in US. Hindi siya dito nag-graduate sa wag naman tayong
Ma-discriminate?
Hindi, yung ma-fake news.
Fake news. Okay.
Oo.
Kung fake news yung sinasabi namin, i-comment nyo na sa below.
Kasi hindi naman perfect din yung mga
True.
research namin. Meron din mga mistakes. Pero as much as possible, we deliver you the best information
True.
na gather din namin. Of course, I will vote for her because she deserves a seat. She deserves a comeback in the Senate, and I guess we are preparing her for either vice president or president. Diba? But it's very difficult to predict because Sara Duterte is really playing her cards now.
And Lenny is also playing.
Yes, these three powerful women, I guess, would have a clash for the 2022 presidential election. I guess
The battle of women.
The battle of women. Sara Duterte, Grace Poe, Leni Robredo, and we do not know with Laila de Lima, knowing that she also gets very high sympathy from the international community.
We don't know with Amy Marcos.
Amy Marcos also is a very powerful woman in our generation now. So I guess it's very hard to predict with these women. But one thing is for sure, in 2022 we will be having a woman president. I am declaring it.
I am also declaring
Because way back in 2014, I already predicted that Duterte will be running in the president. Although maraming nangyari sa filing niya, hindi siya nag-file, and there was a substitution na nangyari, but we ended up with Duterte as our president. No, a lot of people criticized me and said that he will not be running because that is what he is stealing. But iba yung nakikita ko, iba yung nararamdaman ko, and I was really correct. And I think and I hope I'm also correct in the 2022 effective.
the third woman president.
Yes.
Sige.
Okay, so Grace po also, how about you?
Yes, I'm also in favor of Grace Poe.
Okay.
Ever since his legislative.
Ipakilala mo naman si
And next is ang pinakamatigas.
matigas na matigas, para talaga siyang bato.
Bato de la Rosa.
Yes.
He is Bato de la Rosa, the former Director General of the Bureau of Corrections and the former PNP Chief of the Republic of the Philippines. His policy focus are on poverty and drugs, crime reduction, and death penalty. Wow. Sobrang batong-bato yung death
Puso
penalty.
niya, no?
Yes. He is also pro-federalism. He is against with legalization of medical marijuana. He is pro-death penalty, pro-martial extension, and pro-lowering of criminal liability. And then he is also on transport development, train law, same-sex union. Considering parang sensationalized din ito, BFF.
Correct. I don't think so that. Maybe yes, maybe not. Pero di ba para sa atin hindi naman magsiserve kasi wala naman din tayong mga partners.
Then, women and LGBT empowerment. He is from,
diretsuhin ko na siya. Diretsohan na tayo dito. I will not vote for him for a reason that he is too politicized since the very beginning, since time immemorial. I cannot see the competence in him because he failed in his duty as PNP chief in helping the president in fighting the drugs.
The 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, the 3 to 6 months was a very big failure. That's why, the very reason why he was appointed as the PNP chief for the purpose of getting rid of this drug lords and pushers and including the users. And now, very mahal siya ng president because after the controversies in the PNP, nilipat naman siya sa Bureau of Corrections. And again, wala din nangyari sa Bureau of Corrections natin. Still, many reports are being reported na marami pa rin mga drugs and other na mga nakapasok doon sa bilibid and other na mga kulungan. Even if he possesses a PhD degree in criminology, or I do not know what degree he is possessing, but I know he has PhD. For me, I am not convinced. Sorry for the supporters, but I am not convinced of Bato de la Rosa of becoming an effective senator in the country. Maybe ipagpatuloy na lang niya ang service niya being a police because he is indeed a good role model in the police. But in terms of decisiveness, kasi iba last time umiyak siya. umiyak siya. But I think so it's a very dramatic for me because knowing that the advocacies na pinaglalaban niya, napaka-strong. So, dapat ipakita niya na bato din siya. Huwag na niya i-sensationalize na umiiyak din ang tao. Of course, it's normal, but you have the option though. Ikaw, BFF, ano ba? I know, alam mo, gusto mo yung mga matitigas. Gusto mo yung mga batong-bato talaga. But, what is your verdict?
Okay, considering that I have joined one of his campaigns. One of his campaigns because of the reason that it's part of my job.
Oh, okay.
Of that connecting agency, okay, industry. So, going back, Derecho, I'm not voting for De La Rosa.
Okay, the mabigat yan, no? Because
I'm not voting for De La Rosa. It's hard because I
might-
know that after this video, BFF, marami talagang magbabash na mga yung diehard supporters.
But haters gonna hate, di ba? Alam naman natin yan lahat. But, I mean, as political science graduates, I mean, it's our job also to help people. Ako, I don't care if, marami naman talaga akong haters ever since.
Me also.
We do not know why people hate us.
We eat hates every day.
Us, alam ko yan. And we really receive hate. And of course, may mga love din naman, di ba?
True.
So, doon tayo sa love.
Yes.
Yung mga hate dyan, usap na lang tayo pag meron na tayong pakialam sa kanila.
Kasi!
Yes, talaga, di ba? Anak lang.
Okay, now, I'm
Let's-
not in favor with De La Rosa for the sense that he is trying to convince us that he wants to run as senator because he wants to support our president, which is not merely the duty of being a senator. You're
Yeah.
not a supporter of any candidate, or you're not a supporter of the president or the executive or the judiciary, but you are the makers of the law.
Yeah.
If you want to support, just be an individual person or individual Filipino.
Or stay in the executive, in the DILG.
Do your job.
Kasi yung ang PNP and under siya sa DILG.
DILG.
So you stay in the executive if you want to support the president. In that way, masusupport mo talaga. PFF, let's proceed to the next.
Yes, BFF.
The very controversial, recently, nababash din siya sa social media because nung sumakay siya ng jet ski in the West Philippine Sea, ay nabaliktad niya ang suot niya na life jacket. So, nag-comment naman din siya na hindi basihan ang pagsuot ng life jacket in serving the people.
But I guess that's publicity-wise.
Of course, it's always publicity.
Bad and good publicity is still
Always publicity. From a liberal party and one of the members of the Ocho Derecho, an organizer of Ranao Rescue Team, and a former member of Bangsamoro Transition Committee, none other than Miss Samira Boto. Assalamualaikum, Samira, and our brothers and sisters in the Muslim community. Her policy focuses are women and minority groups, knowing that she comes from the minority group in the Muslim minority. And we have the peace, education, and Marawi rehabilitation. These are some of her policy focuses. And she is against political dynasties, against just ironic.
He is part of a political dynasty.
She is part. And federalism and charter change against din siya. But how come na
He is against with federalism and charter change. Well, in fact, she is pro Bangsamoro.
But she supports on the BOL also.
Yeah, she supports.
Parang mayroong inconsistency sa mga policy ni Madam Samira. Favor din siya sa medical marijuana and housing programs for victims of Marawi. That's good. And support din siya sa BOL or the Bangsamoro Organic Law. She is a human rights advocate and Marawi rehabilitation, but against din siya sa martial law extension. BFF coming from Mindanao, tayo, di ba, nasa Mindanao tayo. We have seen the benefits of the people in the martial law extension.
Yeah, also, I've seen a lot of benefits.
Wala din mga harsh, personally, walang mga dito, yung tinatawag nating mga torture, gaya ng mga misnomer na binibigay nila sa atin. Kaya nagka-create ng stigma sa public pertaining to martial law because
I guess BFF, they are sensationalizing or they putting an antagonist notion to martial law.
Yeah.
Which is not an antagonist one because it's part of the Constitution.
Yes, kung mali yan,
And
it should not be part of the Constitution. And knowing also that tayo dito, mas ma-feel natin yung security natin given na may martial law because the visibility of the police officers are very realistic and really nakikita natin na they're really doing their best. Not to, hindi bias kasi hindi naman kami binabayaran dito. This is just plainly a orientation and advocacy for awareness sa mga electorates at voters natin for this midterm election. Really, walang mali sa martial law sa Mindanao. And I do not know why Samira is against martial law. Siguro because of the Ocho Derecho or her membership in the Liberal Party.
Because of the goal of the the party.
But a true leader does not allow anybody to, diba, to dictate your. For me, let's continue, no? In contractualization, ayaw din niya ng train law. And SOGI, anti-discrimination bill, there's a sexual orientation, gender identity,
and expression.
And of course, pro-divorce din siya. Of course, yung divorce, part naman din sa cultural practices nila as Muslims, so wala tayong problema dyan. But itong anti-discrimination bill or SOGI, this is very technical on her part because the Quran, the Muslim culture does not really tolerate any homosexuality. So, I do not know what happened to Miss Samira's advocacy. Siguro na nahihirapan din siya makifit in sa
Modernized?
Not modernized, pero makifit in sa other na kultura. Kasi hindi maiiwasan na mababash talaga sila. Knowing that a Muslim or the Islam religion is very conservative.
Very on the left.
Yeah, in that spectrum.
Spectrum.
Anyways, let's not discuss na the spectrum because they cannot also
Okay. Sige, BFF. Sige, I have this question.
Okay.
Considering your knowledge, considering your observance in the Philippine politics, are we ready to have the first Moro senator?
Walang problema sa akin if we could elect a Moro Muslim or a Muslim senator, a woman particularly, as long as she really is true to herself and there is no hypocrisy, walang inconsistency in her policies and her advocacies, consistent lang. Kasi tama naman din na meron din tayong Moro or Muslim na representative in the Senate because they deserve to be represented. But unfortunately, I am not for Miss Samira Gutok in the sense that na brainwash na siya masyado ng Liberal Party and I guess she is no longer serving her interest ng minority where she is trying to represent herself and at the same time parang nawawala na yung identity niya being a Moro woman because she tends to tolerate too much. I would appreciate her conservatism na i-maintain niya yung ano talaga yun kasi marami akong close na mga babae na mga Maranao, mga Muslims particularly. My former advisor and consultant in my thesis, one of my panel members is a Maranao and we get along together despite her very conservative and I appreciate it. Kasi yun ang mas kailangan natin in the present time. Yung mga dalagang Filipina, natin, they need a role model in a very conservative manner. So, how about you, BFF?
For me, BFF, I'm still thinking of her considering in the position of senator. However, I'm still on the process of rethinking.
So you mean as of this moment part siya ng Magic 12?
No. It's
Hindi
not
na.
Hindi pa. Lagyan natin ng pa. Hindi pa. I'm still not convinced.
Me too. That's the reason why.
I'm not against her running as senator, but I'm not still convinced.
Me too.
Mataas-taas pa po. 1 month pa po to prove your worth.
Our next, pag ina na ba to BFF? I do not
BFF.
count. Let's continue. Kasi parang ang taas-taas lang ng video. I don't think so. Parang hihigitan pa natin yung mga yung mga show sa ABS-CBN.
Part 1, Part 2 to ito BFF.
So I guess part 1, part 2 na lang tayo, no? So I guess this would be, pero i-shoot pa lang natin lahat para isang bagsakan na lang ito. So hanggang dito na lang. Thank you very much and good day.